Science says that the world of ghosts and spirits is entirely made up by people. Yet, there are many mysteries in history that science has been unable to solve. From when Jesus was born, to who Jack the Ripper was, to where Cleopatra's tomb is. The fact that there are no answers only makes these mysteries more interesting. Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel for yet another informative episode. Here's your chance to learn about the top 10 greatest mysteries in human history that have yet to be answered. Remember to subscribe. To get things started, let's jump right in. Number 1. Flight Malaysia Airlines. Many people who fly still get shivers when they hear about MH370. After all, it is the greatest unsolved mystery in modern history. MH370 was the flight number of a Malaysian Airlines airliner that went missing on March 8, 2014 from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. The plane flew over the Indian Ocean when it vanished from radar without explanation. There was no turbulence or engine malfunction. It just disappeared into thin air. So far, neither the people on board nor any pieces of the Boeing 777 have been found. Well, you might not have an explanation for the world's greatest unsolved mysteries after all. Number 2. The infamous Jack the Ripper. The most notorious criminal of all time, Jack the Ripper, remains a mystery. This story unfolds about a serial killer who has yet to be identified. This is the accurate tale of a serial killer who went on a killing spree in London from August to November 1888. This serial killer used to book women prostitution on London streets before brutally killing them. At least 5 prostitutes were brutally murdered by Jack the Ripper in Whitechapel, London. Surprisingly, before all of this, he used to write a letter to the police in which he told them when and how he was going to kill. Despite all of these signs, the authorities were unable to catch him. The most unresolved mystery in history that no one has been able to solve is whether Jack the Ripper was a woman or a man. Also, the reason for targeting prostitute women only is yet to be discovered. Number 3. Stonehenge. You've probably heard about the world's wonders, some of which are thought to be the work of aliens rather than humans. This work is found in Wiltshire, England, and is still a mystery. The situation at this location is such that each stone weighs 6 tons. It was discovered during its research that this composition dates from 2500 to 3000 BC. Even today, no one knows why and how it was made, which makes it the biggest unsolved mystery in history. Some believe it is a human-created miracle, while others believe it is an alien construction with incredible healing potential. During its search, it was discovered that it was once a ground that was subsequently given such a form. Still, no one has been able to make its cause and position in a specific pattern. Number 4. Were the Babylonian hanging gardens real? Ancient people wrote about the fantastic gardens built in the city of Babylon, which is now in Iraq. It's unclear when these gardens were made, but some ancient writers were so impressed that they called them a wonder of the world. Philo of Byzantium said that the plants in the hanging garden were grown high above the ground, and the roots of the trees were on an upper terrace instead of on the floor. Archaeologists who have excavated in Babylon have not discovered the remnants of a garden that fits this description. This has led archaeologists to question, were the hanging gardens natural? Stephanie Daly, a University of Oxford researcher, suggested in a book in 2013 that the gardens were actually located in the Assyrian capital of Nineveh. Both Babylon and Nineveh have suffered from battles and theft over the last 2 decades, and it appears unlikely that this greatest unsolved riddle in history will ever be fully addressed. Number 5. Was King Arthur a real person? King Arthur was unbeatable because he had mysterious powers. It was thought that the source of his power was a mystery sword with a rare diamond embedded in it. This is one of the biggest unsolved mysteries in history. Most people today think that this story was made up to boost the morale of the English troops during the war. All these stories come from different places, but they all say King Arthur was a great king. He ruled England, Ireland, Iceland, Norway, and Gaul in the 6th century. Although it has not been proven whether such a king existed or not, many historians are discussing it by bringing it up. There is evidence that suggests King Arthur was a composite figure. Only time will reveal if there was such a king with a magical sword or not. Number 6. Where is Cleopatra's tomb located? Ancient writers say that when Cleopatra VII and her lover Mark Antony died in 30 BC, they were buried in the same tomb. Plutarch, who wrote that the tomb was near an Egyptian goddess's temple. It was a lofty and beautiful structure with treasures made of gold, silver, emeralds, pearls, ebony, and ivory. The tomb's location is still unknown. In 2010, Egypt's former Minister of Antiquities, Zahi Hawass, dug at a site near Alexandria called Taposiris Magna. This site has several tombs from when Cleopatra VII was in charge of Egypt. Hawass said in a series of news releases about the biggest unsolved mystery in history that Cleopatra VII's tomb was not one of the fascinating archaeological finds. Archaeologists have highlighted that even if Cleopatra's tomb survives to this day, it may be extensively robbed and unidentified. Number 7. Was Caesarion Caesar's son? Cleopatra VII gave birth to a son named Caesarion in 47 BC, claiming he was Julius Caesar's son. In 44 BC, Cleopatra made Caesarion a co-ruler of Egypt. Art from that time shows the mother and son as co-rulers. However, it is unknown whether the infant was indeed Caesar's son. Caesar never accepted the child as his own. One of Caesar's friends, Gaius Appius, wrote a pamphlet denying that Caesarion was Caesar's son. Cleopatra VII committed suicide when she and Mark Antony were defeated by Octavian in 30 BC. Soon after that, Caesarion was killed. Since neither Julius Caesar nor Caesarion's bodies have been found, it's unlikely that scholars will ever be able to say for sure if Caesar was really Caesarion's father. Number 8. What was Jesus like in real life? The first Gospels still around were written in the 2nd century, almost 100 years after Jesus lived. The fact that there are no written records from the 1st century about Jesus means that biblical scholars have many questions. When were the Gospels written? How many of the stories indeed occurred? What was Jesus like in real life? Archaeological excavations in Nazareth, Jesus' hometown, reveal more about the environment in which he grew up. Scientists recently unearthed a first-century house that was recognized as the house where Jesus grew up. However, whether it was actually Jesus' home is still unknown. Even though new research will give us more information, scholars don't think they will ever know what Jesus was like. In 2018, a researcher drew what Jesus might have looked like based on information from excavations and old texts about people who lived in Judea and Egypt simultaneously as Jesus. The study used iconography from ancient coins and Egyptian mummy paintings to conclude that Jesus had dark eyes, black hair, and olive brown skin. Based on bone remains from males of that era, Jesus was most likely 5 feet 5 inches tall. Number 9. Atlantis, the Lost City. Plato, a Greek philosopher, wrote about an ancient land called Atlantis. He said it was in the Atlantic Ocean and ruled over much of Europe and Africa. In the story, the ancient Athenians fight back against Atlantis. In the end, Atlantis sinks below the waves. It remains one of the world's oldest and greatest mysteries. People have tried to find the location of this city since the beginning of time, but no one has been entirely successful. The cause of this place's sinking is thought to be a tsunami, earthquake, or other natural disasters. Many historians and explorers have attempted to discover this site, but no one knows where it is. Some believe it is in South America, others believe it is in the Greek islands, and others believe it is near Antarctica. Only partial secrets and knowledge about it have been revealed over time. Since no one has been able to identify this city, various theories about it have developed. Nobody knows the genuine answer to history's most unsolved mystery. Number 10. Where is the Holy Grail? The Holy Grail, the cup from which Jesus drank at the Last Supper with his disciples before his crucifixion, has never been found and will never be recovered. In truth, it wasn't until the Middle Ages that there was great interest in it, after writers composing some of King Arthur's stories presented the hunt for the Holy Grail as a quest by King Arthur and his knights. There are no serious efforts to find the Holy Grail, but it is still a popular subject in fiction. For example, the 1989 movie Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade was used to heal Indiana Jones after the Nazis shot him. No one has yet been able to figure out how much truth there is in this matter. Over time, we have gotten some proofs that make us think again and again that we still don't know much about these mysteries. Guys, you're missing out if you haven't subscribed yet. Don't forget to press the like button as well. Stay tuned for more smoking hot lists like this one. Don't forget to tell us in the comments how much you believe in these greatest mysteries of human history from around the world. We'll be back with yet another fantastic episode for you.